Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Shane Webley again. It's the second day of our all-hands safety meeting, our virtual safety meeting. Welcome, everybody, again. I hope that we had a safe day yesterday, and thanks for taking the time again this morning to come together and talk about the company and our safety performance. Today, you're going to be hearing from Rachel Turner, our HR representative. He's going to be talking about a couple of HR related things. And then we're going to talk about company performance in 2020. And we're going to hear from our project managers on different project highlights, which is always a fun and exciting time to highlight these jobs and all the hard work that everybody's put in over the past year. It's one of the highlights of our meeting. So look forward to the messages that are going to be shared this morning. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Hi, my name is Rachel Turner, and I am the HR representative for Johansson Construction Company and Heimer Concrete. Each year at our in-person safety meeting, I usually stand up and cover a couple important HR topics. And I kind of wanted to talk about those same topics today. However, these reside in the HR portal. So new this year, you guys were all sent a welcome email to get into the HR portal, and most of you guys have used it. So I'm just gonna put a little clipping down here in the corner to show you how to get there as I'm talking about it. So if you go to your web browser and you type in our portal address, portal.johanssonCCI.com, it'll take you to this home screen right here. And from here, you'll choose which company you work for, either Johansson or Highmark. From there, you'll enter your employee number, and then you'll enter your password. I didn't do that here, I pre-plugged it so you didn't know what my password was. And then you will sign into the portal. It's gonna take you to this home screen right here. This little red box right up here is going to be if you are assigned something that you need to look at. So if you ever see that red box, you need to click on it and basically read or sign the document. Other than that, it's just kind of some basic information. You can, find your pay stub and stuff right here. But if you go up to the top right hand corner, there's those three little lines, and then under employee tools, you're going to click on library documents. Library documents is where I am able to upload documents for you to review. Each person's portal is going to look a little bit different. You're looking at mine right now. So there is a category called Johansson Resources and or Highmark Resources, depending on which company you work for. And under Highmark Resources, I have uploaded the EEO policy and the Pocket Reference Guide. The Pocket Reference Guide holds the substance abuse policy, the harassment policy, as well as the EEO policy. So all of these items are uploaded here. If you ever have any questions or you need to reference them, or you don't have your physical copy of your Pocket Reference Guide on here. Sorry, it's a little slower than I am. I think I'm talking faster than my screen. But anyway, we're gonna continue to upload this area. This is the Equal Employment Opportunity Policy, the EEO policy, that's there too. I'm kind of just showing you a couple things that are in there. But we will continue to build the portal, and more documents will show up under your library documents. I kind of wanted to just talk about how you can find them there today.
Welcome back. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is about some of our company highlights, about some of our existing projects that we're building. We're going to hear from some of our project managers here shortly about some of the work that they're managing and that you are all building together, and it's an exciting and good part of our meeting. So I'm actually sitting here in our war room, the estimating room in our new office in Sumner, in the Johansson War Room. This is where we bid and close a lot of our bids and submit them and build our contracts and our backlog. And so state-of-the-art building, super excited to be here with you today filming this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our company growth. I'm going to talk about what our backlog is, and then we're going to be pitching it over to our project managers to give us some information on some of the jobs that we're building right now. So in 2020 to 2021, this has been a challenging year. It's a challenging year for each of us individually at home with our families and our communities as we navigate COVID-19 pandemic, what that means, for us. in the industry, it's a big political thing as well. There's a lot of different elements to what we've all been dealing with individually and as a company over this past year. But the one thing that I would like you all to take away and to know is that our company continues to be successful and healthy. We're continuing to maintain a steady backlog of work. We're diversified between Highmark and Johansson. That's one of the greatest things that we do, is that we're diversified in several different markets and segments of our industry. Whether it be being a prime contractor or a subcontractor, whether it's flat work concrete or structural concrete, private work, public sector work, design build, bid build. We look at all types of work, and commercial development, site development. We could go on and on. Hydroelectric power, we're working in some of that type of thing. Power distribution as well. And so it's a great measure of our success. It brings me great satisfaction. And I feel safe that, as these different segments of our market change and flow with their funding and different things, that we are poised to be able to capitalize on that and continue to build our company and continue to secure that backlog for each of us to be able to have a great paycheck coming in every week in, week out. So the first thing I want to talk about, when we look at, how is the company doing, is hours worked by year. This is a slide that we've been having these all hands safety meetings for over 5 years now, and it's a slide that we come back to year in and year out. It's a measure of, how much work we're performing each year. And so you can see that Johansson on the left here and Highmark on the right, that we have seen a bit of a decline in labor hours worked from 2020, as you would expect with the onset of the COVID pandemic, that we did for Johansson, we did about 25,000, 35,000 labor hours less than we had done in 2019. For Highmark, it was about 7,000 or 8,000 labor hours less than what we had done in 2019. The data for 2021 is from January 1st through August 10th. Information was pulled together when we were planning to have our all-hands safety meeting in person, and so it is a little over a month old, about 2 months old at this point. But as of August 10th of this year, Johansson had done 96,000 labor hours year to date, and Highmark had done 56,000 labor hours year to date. So when we look a little bit further into those hours, what we see is that when we're comparing the time frame from January 1st through August 30th of 2021 to January 1st to August 30th of 2020, and we look at the labor hours performed for each company, what we actually see is that Highmark is on pace this year to perform more labor hours than it ever has in its company's history. So in 2021, we've done roughly 10,000 labor hours more in that 4-month window than what we had done in the prior year. And from a Johansson perspective, it's the flip side of that coin, is actually we've done about 10,000 labor hours less than we had done in 2020. So, the prediction for Highmark is that this is going to be a record-breaking labor hour year. We can attribute that to continued growth and expansion through the flat work segment of the market. We've got some great projects that Justin O'Keefe is going to talk about with IDIQ work and task order contracts, multiple year contracts at JBLM and others. We have continued to grow our structures division and have more backlog at this point than we probably ever had as a company as well from our structures group. And that's coming back to these labor hours and the increase that we're seeing in 2021. Johansson, on the flip side of that coin, is that we're wrapping up the Issaquah Fall City Road project, and we're building that backlog again. The private sector is strong and robust. We're continuing to bid work there and anticipate that we'll continue to build more and more of our commercial development and site development work, as well as increasing the public works that we're doing also. So, what does this mean? Labor hours, there's risk involved. You guys know that is that, when we go out every day onto our projects, we're exposed to, safety hazards. We try to minimize those safety hazards to the best of our ability. And I think that overall we're pretty successful at that. And we know that there's always room for improvement, and each of us want to improve so that every day all of us come home safely and unharmed. So with this 2021 prediction of, a record-breaking labor year for Highmark, one of the things that we have to focus on is to be purposeful and diligent in our safety efforts every day, that we continue to work together as a team to watch each other's backs and make sure that nobody is hurt and nobody's injured on our jobs each day. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up now, and I'm going to pass on to our project managers, and we're going to hear about some of the jobs that we've been building and that we have out in front of us to build as well.
Hello, my name is Jake Rudolph, and I'm a project manager with Johansson. I've been with the company for nearly 15 years. My team runs the majority of the private work for the company. During my tenure, I've had the privilege of being a part of the company's growth and success. I look forward to the company's bright future in current and upcoming pursuits. On the first slide, you'll see our project, Proctor Willows, which is a large site development project for one of our premier clients. The site is located in Redmond and consists of major earthworks, 112,000 bank cubic yards of cut to fill, and 72,200 truck cubic yards of export. There's a large vault on the project which measures nearly 200 feet by 75 feet with extensive footings. You can see the vault excavation in its final stages of preparation in the bottom picture of the slide. Bottom of the picture in the slide. The project has major offsite improvements associated with it, and also large quantities of on-site utilities and hardscaping. This is a 2-year project. The next slide is of our project Woodlands Reserve, which is located in Kirkland off of Juanita Drive. It consists of mass earthwork, utilities, hardscaping, and offsite improvements. We were tasked with nearly 14,000 bank cubic yards of cut to fill and nearly 14,000 truck cubic yards of export. As you can see from the photos, we had a difficult sewer tie-in on the existing roadway and the finished vault. The bottom left picture is of the sewer tie-in, and the bottom right is the finished vault. The third slide is of Elliott Farms, which is located in Renton off of Maple Valley Highway. The project consists of mass excavation, 5,000 bank cubic yards of cut to fill, and an import of nearly 33,000 truck cubic yards of import. We'll also be installing all the utilities for the project, including sewer, storm, water, and joint utility trenching and backfill. With its location, the unique quality of the project is its highly visible nature alongside the highway, with many people traveling the roadway every day. The photos show the final grading of the site, post-import placement and compaction. And there's another shot of the plan view for reference. The final slide is for the private development safety. Some safety highlights regarding our work is that we have worked 49,506 hours with 1 recordable injury over the past year. Our goal is always 0 recordable injuries, and we look forward to everyone's effort to stay safe and alert while working. I look forward to seeing everyone on the projects and want you to know that the company's success relies heavily on every single person involved. If there are ever safety concerns, please say something to your supervisors. There are safety observation QR codes located on every project, which we encourage you to use. These are for all employees and are reviewed and taken very seriously. They can also be performed anonymously if needed. Thank you so much. We'll see you out there. Go Hawks.
Hi everyone, this is Mike Dysert, Senior Project Manager for Johansson. I'm here today to highlight some of the public projects that we have as a group and some of the hard work that the men and women we have working for us are doing. I'll start out today talking about Sound Transit Downtown Redmond Link Extension Project. This project is our contract is with SWK, and they have a design build contract with Sound Transit. Our scope of work originally on the project was to perform the sewer and water infrastructure portion. Our relationship since we've signed contracts with SWK has improved, and we've had an ability to get some scope growth to include the joint utility trench work and some other utility relocation work, and we're still looking at continued abilities from SWK to allow that scope to increase, and we pursue that. It's been a good relationship. Some of the key facts on the job: we have worked 17,300 hours. We've had 0 recordable injuries. We're expecting another 39,975 hours before the project's over. Project's scheduled to go until 2023. And hopefully, we can increase the amount of work in that time frame and put some more men and women that we have working for us out on that job. It's been an enjoyable group to work with between the team from Sound Transit and SWK and our relationship. Moving on to highlight a new contract that we have this year, Ebright Creek Fish Passage with the city of Sammamish. This project, some of the key facts and what it'll be, I guess what it was unique for is Johansson as a group has tried to increase our portfolio on being able to successfully complete fish passage projects to make us more diverse in the marketplace, and this is a good example of our ability to do so. This whole project was completed in about a 2-month time frame, and we've worked 5,050 hours or so on the project with 0 recordable injuries. Some of the key aspects of this project included having to bypass a lot of the existing utilities before we could actually start the culvert excavation. So we had to put in a 15-inch sewer bypass, a water bypass, and then obviously bypass the 8 CFS stream, and work around the clock in some of those scenarios to get the work to complete. We have completed this job, and it's in the punch list phases and closeout phases. So for all the men and women that worked on this job and had long extended hours, we appreciate it. It's a good looking job and one the city and Johansson are proud of. Moving on, we have a new project, fairly new as in January. East Lake Sammamish Trail. This project, one of the key aspects of it is it's nearly 2 miles long. It's only got one access on either end, and that really restricts our ability to construct some of the key aspects that the project has to have to reach completion. Some of those are walls. Whenever you're widening a narrow corridor, it tends to have walls. This particular one, through the almost 2 mile corridor, has 31 different walls consisting in 4 different types of construction between rockery, SEW, gravity block, and soldier pile wall with precast concrete lagging. Those walls are adjacent to some high dollar properties in which we have to maintain access. And some of the final access is stairs that we have to construct, both elevated platforms, elevated staircases with some decorative finishes. all of which we have to coordinate through only the 2 access points. Lot of conditions at which people, the community, has installed throughout the corridor that are unknowns, and that'll be one of our challenges and unique features that we have to get through on the job. Thanks everybody for listening in, and I'm glad I could provide some feedback on the projects that we have.
All right, that was great. The projects are awesome, and it's exciting. You know, the wide array of jobs that we get the chance to build every year is what's kind of cool about, well, it's not kind of cool, it's what's cool about working at Highmark and at Johansson as well, is that, you know, we all are part of a company that, you know, is building so many different types and pieces of work, and we're building it in the communities that we call home, and that's really rewarding. As a father and a husband, you know, it's super exciting for me to drive through some of our jobs and to show my kids and my wife, you know, this is a job that we're building, and we did this and we did this on the job, and that, you know, there's a lot of pride associated with that. And so it's cool to see our project managers share, you know, some of the efforts, some of the work that we're performing, so, you know, that we're all building together. I just wanted to come back now, you know, after we've kind of talked about these individual jobs, and just kind of reiterate our backlog between Highmark and Johansson for you at an aggregate level, you know, all combined. And so what we're looking at here is a slide that on the left-hand side we see some of the notable projects for Johansson, and on the right-hand side for Highmark as well. And so this isn't an all-inclusive list. You know, our backlog is a living, breathing thing. As our list was developed here to share with you for these meetings, you know, Johansson at the time had about $35.7 million in existing backlog to continue to burn and build out in front of us. Since this list was developed, we've continued to add backlog to that. We have a couple of different private jobs that we're nearing completion of subcontract execution and commercial development work, excavation for mixed-use buildings in the greater Seattle area. We also, just last Friday, were listed as the apparent low bidder for the E135 project with Sound Transit as the prime contractor on a $6 million public works contract that we'll be navigating through the contract execution, and look for that work to be starting late this year or early in 2022. Similarly, for Highmark, we talked about the record-breaking labor hour year that we have out in front of us here for 2021. But at the time that we put this slide together, we were looking at over $10 million in backlog. There has been several more projects added to this list. We've got some exciting work out in front of us. When we talk about stability in the marketplace, we've landed through our flat work division an IDIQ contract at the JBLM base that's for multiple year task order type of deal for the next 4 or 5 years, being out there on JBLM doing work on a task order basis, which is super exciting. We've also landed another $1.2 million in the E135 project, working with Johansson on this Sound Transit project last Friday. So our backlog for Highmark right now is probably in that $13 to $15 million range as well, and so that is extremely exciting for us. And so thanks everybody for tuning in today, for hearing about these jobs, for the work that you're doing and helping us to build these projects and build this company, and I appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.